Along with a completely new era of car design, the 2022 Formula One season sees the continuation of the budget caps imposed last year, with the maximum amount teams can spend set at $140 million. And with all the talk this year about budgets and development spending, the question of how F1 teams make money arises. Teams have used various strategies and business models over the years to ensure their survival and thrive in the most technologically advanced sport of all. This may be a relatively simple task for large teams owned by major automakers, especially since the budget cap was implemented to level the playing field. This is not the case for smaller independent firms. So, as the sport became more complex over the years, these teams have used different solutions. Let's take a look at what they are and how effective they've been thus far. Naturally, a portion of each team's revenue comes from the sport itself in the form of the Concord Agreement. According to this agreement, at the end of the season, each team receives an equal share of the F1 earnings percentage if they participated in the previous 2 seasons. Furthermore, another portion of the F1's team's revenues is calculated based on their final season ranking. The winner receives the largest share, and the others receive less at each step of the standings. In addition to these 2 shares of F1 revenue, some teams have access to additional funds due to their status in the sport. While specific details of the agreement have not been made public, some have. Ferrari, for example, earns an additional share because it is the only team that has competed in every single season, which has also given it a significant political and marketing impact on the sport. In addition, under the new rules, teams with a special heritage in the sport or who have finished among the top 3 in recent years are entitled to a 20% share of the F1 earnings above the $650 million mark. Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, Williams, Alpine, and Ferrari are among these teams. Overall, even though larger teams continue to earn significantly more than others, today's systems ensures a much more equitable distribution than in previous years. Sponsorships are the second source of income for every team, albeit to varying degrees. Each year, each team receives funds from 10 to 20 sponsors who pay to have their name displayed as a title partner or simply in various locations on the car. These deals are negotiated individually with the teams based on the type of exposure desired by the company and the amount the car is shown on TV or social media. Naturally, teams fighting at the front receive more lucrative sponsorships as they enjoy more of F1's massive spotlight. While putting physical logos on cars may seem like an old-fashioned way of marketing, it works, with companies willing to pay hundreds of millions of dollars for it. For example, Red Bull's title sponsor, Oracle, has signed a 4-year contract worth $300 million with the team beginning this year, which is not bad, considering that big teams are spending less and less due to the budget cap. But wait, there's more. Various teams have used multiple solutions over the years to improve their businesses, and as a result, their competitiveness and income. The most obvious, at least for automakers, is technology transfer. For companies such as Ferrari, Mercedes, Alpine, Aston Martin, and McLaren, the Formula One team, along with a powerful marketing tool, is also an important platform for technology development to transfer and apply to their respective road-legal vehicles. The examples are numerous, particularly for luxury performance vehicles, with perhaps the most obvious being the Mercedes-AMG 1, which features the team's F1 engine under the hood. The second role, which is again used primarily by automakers and in some cases by larger teams, is that of suppliers. The engine is, of course, the most common component. Once again, automakers supply engines for their own teams, as well as for others. Mercedes builds engines for McLaren, Aston Martin, and Williams, while Ferrari builds engines for Haas and Alfa Romeo. Alpine, of course, uses a Renault engine, which has previously supplied many other teams. Red Bull and AlphaTauri, on the other hand, are powered by Honda engines. Honda is now only present as a supplier, although it previously competed in the sport. But engines are not the only components supplied by major F1 teams. Even without a proprietary engine, teams can become suppliers. Even though the rules state that the entire car must be developed by the team, satellite team AlphaTauri uses chassis parts from Red Bull's previous vehicles, for instance. Apart from those, brakes, suspension, fuel systems, steering, and gearbox are developed with Red Bull technology. External technology transfer is a third method that some teams use to generate additional revenue. Teams such as Williams, McLaren, and Sauber develop technology for third parties that were not even involved in the Formula One Championship over the years. This sport's innovation has been applied to aerospace, materials engineering, information technology, and telecommunications. Last but not least, there are the merchandise sales. Selling merchandise has always been a part of the game, and teams make a lot of money by selling various garments, collectibles, and other team-themed items to their fans. But it's not just the money made from purchases that matters. Merchandise is another place where the all-important sponsor logos can go, which means sponsors are willing to consider when negotiating a price. All teams prioritize merchandise sales, but it all depends on your performance, with higher-ranking teams having more fans, and thus more buyers. Overall, numerous factors can contribute to an F1 team's financial success, and luck may not be the last of them, especially when rule changes are involved. Automotive companies, satellite teams, and a few independents shape the current landscape. Future regulations should level the playing field, increasing the championship's unpredictability and providing more opportunities to smaller teams. What are your thoughts on F1's current revenue split? Do you think it's too unfair? Do you want smaller teams to earn more? Or do you think winning should be rewarded? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below.